patching concrete. If you're going to patch concrete, then you need to have a sample board that is either cardboard or a piece of plywood, because the first thing you're going to want to do is make a sample of the patching material that you intend to use so that you can do a color test on the concrete in an out-of-the-way place, and then also stain this sample piece so that you can compare the two and make sure that the colors are going to blend and go well together.
Most patching will stain different than your concrete, but we'll tell you how to fix that later on in the video.
The next thing that you're going to need is going to be a concrete trowel, and you're going to need a concrete rubbing stone. What you'll do is you'll clean the concrete really well, you'll mix up the patch material, you'll put the patch material in the patched area to be patched, and you'll trowel it out. You let that dry for a couple days or so, and then you come back with the rubbing stone and you rub that stone so that you rub it out smooth. It's kind of like applying Bondo to a car and then sanding it down. That's the concept. You use a rubbing stone to do that.
After you're done staining, you might notice that you have some divots or chips in your concrete, but don't worry, you can mix together some epoxy. You can fill in those holes to where it's smooth. It will maintain that 3D textured look, but it won't create a dust trap in your floor, and you'll still be able to clean it super easy. Okay guys, so this part's really important as well. If you're going to be using a solvent-based sealer, make sure that your epoxy is solvent-based as well. And if you're going to be using a water-based sealer, like what we use at Concrete Camouflage, make sure you're using a water-based clear epoxy as well.
Or if you try to patch a hairline crack is a crack that you cannot fit a coin into. If you can fit a coin into it, then you may want to patch it. Or if you pull up carpet tack strip along the edge and it breaks the concrete up, you may want to patch it. After you've neutralized it and rinsed it down, and really during the process, that's whenever you're going to notice if you have any blemishes or bad spots. If you had spots of paint or glue or anything like that, then that's where they're going to really stick out, and you're going to tell that they didn't take the stain well.
If you do have these spots, you can use children's watercolor paints to help blend them in.
You can mix the colors together to get them to blend in, and you can lightly paint over these small spots or blemishes to blend them in.
But you need to do it in between coats of sealer. So you do your first coat of sealer, allow it to dry, then do your touch-up paint, allow it to dry, then apply your second coat of sealer.
If you're going to use artist acrylic paint, make sure you thin it down to water thin, because if you don't, it's going to cause a slight hump in your floor, and you don't want that.
I wouldn't do this in large areas, but it certainly works great for little spots and little blemishes here and there. And that concludes the patching section.